everybody! Okay, hi! Magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. My name is Kate and I am your host for tonight's QCafe session. Ayan! So, excited na ba kayo para sa gabing ito? Kasi ako excited na ako because I wanna learn a lot of things about this woman. Because this evening, we have a guest who will talk to us about motherhood. And she is a fresh mom and first time mom. She is a first time mom. Len is a Len is a first time mom to an 8-month-old baby. Ayan. His name is Julian. She proclaims that one of her greatest fear before is getting pregnant and having a child because she's not fond of babies. So ayan, that and she is also very passionate about working out, healthy living, meal prepping, and considers herself a frugal minimalist. What makes her busy these days is keeping her family's IT's business afloat, plus her passion project or what she calls side hustle called Apron Girl. O, di ba? Ang ganda naman ang tawag yan. An online dessert shop which started last December. She considers baking and cooking as a way to ease her anxiety during this pandemic. So ayan, without further ado, let me welcome to you our guest speaker for this evening, David-Ilagan. Hi, Len!
Hello guys, good evening. That's true, I'm a fresh mom.
Fresh na first time.
Gusto ko yung fresh.
Ayan, so kamusta ka naman, Len? Nasaan si Julian ngayon?
Well, currently Julian is sleeping. Sabi ko nga kanina kay Kate, kapag nag-off cam ako, that means that he woke up and I needed to nurse again. So, yeah, those are just the things that you go through when you're a first time or a fresh mom.
Nakaka-excite naman yan. Feeling ko looking forward na rin ako na ma-promote into freshness.
Sure ka? Sure.
Fresh talaga maging first time mom. Yun yung tanong. Anyway, sige, I would love to hear your story. So take it away, Len.
Kate, thank you so much. Thank you to my friends who are here right now, who were covers to watch me do this talk. And thank you to Muzen for thinking of me for being the speaker for tonight. Sabi ko nga when Anne invited me, sabi ko, bakit ako? As a first time mom, medyo nakakahiya kasi wala naman akong experience. And sabi nga ni Kate that one of the fears that I have before having a kid and getting pregnant was exactly that. Being a mom and being pregnant is one of my greatest fears because I wouldn't know what it feels like to be in labor. And aside from that, I didn't really have any experience when it comes to taking care of children. Kasi just to give you a little bit of background about my life, yung family namin kasi matatanda yung cousins ko. So ibig sabihin, I was the youngest in both of the side of the David and Yatar. Kaya wala akong experience of taking care of children. Hindi talaga ako fond of babies. I think I had a bad experience when I was younger because ewan ko kung panaginip lang ba to or it was just a blur in my mind, pero parang basta I had a bad experience of taking care of a small kid and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this to save my life. Apart from that, I also had some insecurities when I was growing up. Kasi nga, di ba, when you become a mom, kumbaga, your body change and I think for selfish reasons, those are one of the things that parang ayokong pagdaanan in my life na ayokong tumaba. Ang baba, pero if you're a fitness enthusiast or you are someone like me na, alam mo yun, meron kang insecurity sa katawan, ayaw mo talagang, ayun, those are the things that you want to avoid in life. Sabi ko nga, sa husband ko ngayon na, honestly, I can go through my life without kids. I'm okay. I'm okay with not having kids. But of course, Um, uh, Marriage happened. I got pregnant, and it was planned. Of course, parang as you grow older naman, you get, I don't know, parang magbabago rin yung pananaw mo sa buhay, I guess. And I was coerced. Hindi, joke lang. I was not coerced, pero I mellowed down to the idea na, okay, maybe kakayanin ko naman to be a mother. So, mabuti nga, before mag-pandemic, actually, December 2019, nag-honeymoon kami sa Jeju Island. And what is funny about this story is that hindi namin alam that Jeju is actually a fertility uh, parang island, parang ganun. Fertility, if you wanted to get pregnant, it is known pala that you go to Jeju Island or something. It's in South Korea. So doon kami honeymoon ng husband ko si Vince. And yeah, we were surprised that after that vacation, I got pregnant in June, agad-agad. So hindi namin in-expect na ganun kabilis because we were thinking maybe well, hindi naman ako matanda, but maybe he is. De, joke lang. Yeah, we were shocked that, okay, at least agad-agad na. Mabuti na nga lang kasi we had that honeymoon because those are the times na nagsastart na pala kumalat yung virus sa buong mundo. Diba? So, I'm glad that we had that time to relax and yeah, magbuo ng bata. Ayun. So, when that happened, my initial feelings when I got pregnant was, wala lang. I got pregnant. Wala kasi akong, I guess I was very healthy. So I did not really have any problems when it comes to the first trimester of pregnancy. Actually, very makulit pa nga ako sa OB ko because she told me not to work out at all or basta bawas-bawasan. Makulit ako kasi I'm really used to doing HIIT, mga circuit training, I like lifting heavy weights. So sa totoo lang, hindi ko talaga siya pinakinggan kasi nag-aano pa rin ako, nag-weights pa rin ako ng mga 5 kilos, 7 kilos kahit sa first trimester ko. But yun nga, she was just being cautious maybe because the first trimester is very, very delicate in all of the trimester in a pregnancy. So anyway, since alam ko naman yung katawan ko, I still pushed through and did my regular workouts. But of course, medyo tamed down na because at that time, last year, can't believe that was last year, feels like ages ago. Last year ng January, ito yung time na, ayun nga, March actually, nagkaroon na ng lockdowns. So, it was actually a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because throughout my pregnancy, I was just stuck at home. Kumbaga, it was really parang a vacation for me. Also, a curse because I did not really experience alam mo yun, yung mga priority of being a pregnant lady, like being a grocery, everyone's just being nice to you. Hindi ko na-experience yun masyado because I was just stuck at home. Ayun nga. But anyway, going back to my pregnancy, just a little bit about my pregnancy journey. It was actually a very, very, what do you call this? It was a easy pregnancy because wala talaga akong symptoms at all. I did not have any nausea. I wasn't on bed rest. Actually, I felt very, very normal. Like, wala talaga. Wala akong kakaibang pang-amoy or nasusuka sa sight of this and that. Wala. So, yeah, I was really lucky when it comes to that. But for me, mentally, parang a baby growing inside me wasn't something that I was really excited about at the same time, parang wala lang. Alam mo yung hindi ka excited, hindi ka rin malungkot. It's just, okay, there's a baby inside of me. It's not like other mothers, I guess, who are really, wow, through the roof ang kanilang kasiyahan when na buntis sila. Ako, I was just so nonchalant about being pregnant. Siguro I didn't really wanted to be so excited kasi nga hindi nga ako mahilig sa babies. Kumbaga, I was just parang in my mind, I'm just doing this for my husband. Kumbaga parang ganun. Ang harsh, no? Pero wala, hindi kasi talaga ako mahilig sa bata. So parang wala akong quote-unquote parang pagmamahal. Parang wala akong ganung klaseng fuzzy feeling when it comes to having babies. I really didn't have those. But of course, being a responsible person, syempre, I made it a point in my pregnancy to eat healthy, exercise, I did the walking, all of the things that my OB told me, except for not exercising. I did all those. Ayan. Um, I stayed active throughout my pregnancy kasi nga, as a fit person or a person who used to go to the gym a lot to work out, it's really important for me to not gain a lot of weight. Alam mo, parang ang babaw talaga itong mga sinasabi ko. Pero yun nga yung mga priority ko actually, not to gain a lot of weight, to go back to my pre-pregnancy body. Napakababaw. But those are the things that are important for me, kaya pinush ko talaga siya. And because my pregnancy was also planned, pinlano naman namin na, okay, honeymoon, make a baby, blah, blah, blah. That time in 2019, I really got ready to be pregnant. I guess talaga I was really healthy. Ayun nga, talagang prepare ko sarili ko mentally na, okay, this is going to happen. Kailangan masanay ka ng gumising ng maaga because when you have a baby, hindi ka na makakatulog. Yan. I prepared myself mentally and physically for that. Okay. Aside from that, a little bit of on my pregnancy journey as well is that one of the things maybe that dapat pinagplanuhan ko was the stuff for the baby. And I say this because I did not expect that manganganak ako like a month before my due date. So ako, I'm a procrastinator kasi. I'm sure a lot of people are like that. So I just push aside getting the baby stuff because in my mind, okay, there is still time, ganyan. But surprise, lumabas si Julian a month early. So for those mothers, soon-to-be mothers, please prepare in advance. Yung mga friend ko dito, ayan, si Rachel, hindi siya nagkulang sa akin sa pag-remind na ayusin mo na yan, ayusin mo na yan. Pero hindi ko ginawa because in my mind yun nga, ang dami pang oras. A word of advice, just prepare in advance. So yun nga, si Julian pinanganak siya ng August. My due date was September, middle of September. And nanganak ako ng August 14. It was the middle of the COVID, the middle of the pandemic. It was actually a weird time to get pregnant and also to give birth ngayon na may COVID because the protocols are very, very different. In all of my visits to the OB, especially for ultrasound, it was kind of sad because hindi ko nakasama yung husband ko to check the ultrasound, to see the baby's face doon sa sa ultrasound. Wala kami ganung experience. So those are the things that I missed out on. Also in the labor room din pala. Yeah, yung nanganak ako, di ba, in the movies. Yun na talaga references ko, mga movies talaga. Kasi almost, konti lang din yung mga friends kong nagkakaroon ng anak. Kaya wala ako masyadong references regarding to that. But yun nga, sa mga movies, di ba, parang the husband can go to the hospital to guide you or to just be there so you can punch him or whatever while you're going into labor. But yun, bawal din. Hindi din talaga pwede. It's just you and the doctors. And I was also isolated because hindi pa ako nagpa-swab test that time. Kaya I was in a separate room. Hindi pa kasi alam if I'm negative or not because hindi pa ako nagpa-swab test. So yun yung mga weird things. And of course, the family members can see you right away. Basta weird. It's just weird going through the hospital protocols at this time. So about giving birth, ayan. Ang dami kong ang dami kong explanation about giving birth. And I think this is something I should discuss kasi nga, di ba kanina sinabi ko, it's one of my greatest fear, giving birth. Kasi nga alam kong sobrang sakit niya. But I would say na it's not the most excruciating pain ever as I imagined it to be. Maybe because nag-epidural ako, meron kasi anesthesia na ina-administer in your spinal area. Tama ba yun, Rich? Basta may ina-administer na epidural. But yung sinasabi nilang contraction, I was quite surprised that hindi naman pala siya ganun kasakit. It's parang parang nag-mens ka ng matindi and yung cramps niya sobrang tindi. Hindi kasi ako nagka-cramps pag meron akong period. Ayan, lucky on that aspect again. So hindi ko talaga masabi kung sobrang sakit siya. But it's not really that painful. But what is painful was the healing part. Yan. I would say sobrang sakit because to get technical, to be technical, they had to parang cut me up a little bit sa yun? How can I explain that? But they have to cut me up a bit. So down there, I had to heal and it was so painful. I think I had to heal for a month. Hindi ako makaupo talaga. I can't sleep. I can't sit. I can't even I can't even lie down properly kasi sobrang sakit. Sobrang sakit niya. Now to the best part, when the baby came, when Julian came. My experience in motherhood is para siyang up until now it's a learning experience for me. Yung nanganak ako, as in yung nakita ko talaga si Julian, of course pag nanganak ka, they had to put the baby on your chest para magkaroon kayo ng instant bond. Wala akong masyadong feelings that time. Ayun nga, again, I didn't have that fuzzy feeling na, oh, I have a child, wow, I feel so motherly, ganyan. Wala. I really had to work my way into loving the child and work my way into parang care for my baby. One of the things that was really hard for me was the nursing part, yung pagpapadede sa anak because of course this is my first baby. At the same time, kailangan mo talagang maging matyaga para magkaroon ka ng gatas. Yung ginawa ko that time was kumain ng malunggay. I think yung mga inuulam ko yung malunggay, as in literal, kumukuha kami ng malunggay fresh from our garden and I would just, iuulam ko siya sa kanin. And my friend Rachel also gave me some malunggay na dried malunggay. Yan, ginagawa ko rin siyang shake. Nakatulong naman siya sa akin. One of the things that I also experienced in my motherhood journey is the postpartum, I wouldn't call it depression, but I would call it sadness because I had a lot to battle with mentally. Siguro, first of all, I had to deal with is the fear of keeping a baby alive. Kasi nasa pressure sa nanay yung lahat eh. Because you're the caregiver, ikaw magpapakain, ikaw you're gonna give your baby a bath, and these are the things that I had zero knowledge about. So I think for the first week, I was just, my gosh, kung matatandaan ko, naiyak ako. Pero I was just really crying kasi I didn't have any idea what to do. Like, and I would ask my friends, ano bang gagawin ko? And it did not help asking for help because nagkakaroon naman ako ng info overload na ang dami-daming suggestions, and you feel like you're a bad mother because you're not doing what the other person is doing. Parang feeling mo ang sloppy mo. Bakit I'm not doing this? Kailangan daw, ganyan. So, ang ginawa ko that time was to rant on social media, my IG. Nagrant ako. Hindi naman nagrant, pero it was a way for me to vent out my frustrations, I guess. Na parang I'm afraid, I'm scared. And what's really beautiful about, social media and sharing was that I had a lot of my acquaintances and friends who are mommies na really reached out to me and said, you know what, parang just step back and it's okay. Whatever you're doing, okay ang ginagawa mo for your baby basta your baby is well fed, he's in a comfortable place, nakakatulog siya, okay yan. It's okay. You don't really have to do a lot of things to a newborn. Just, mo yun, to keep him alive. Just feed him, ganyan. So, it really helped me. And ayun na, I was battling a lot of demons inside of me. I had to parang deal with sleep. I know it's funny talking about these things kung hindi ka nanay, but oh my gosh, sleep was really, mabuti nga ngayon nakakatulog na ako na maayos, but if you don't get enough sleep, it will really drive you nuts, I swear. Wala akong masabi, but it will really drive you off the wall. Hindi ka well mentally, tapos hindi ka pa nakakatulog. My goodness. Wala. Mag-aaway kayo ng asawa mo. Ang dami ko talagang pinaglalaban nun. Parang my husband and I parang lagi akong irritable sa asawa ko actually, because siya lang talaga pinagbubuntungan ko ng sama ako ng loob, because parang ang feeling ko nun, why do I have to be stuck with this and you get to live your life like nothing happened? But ako, nanganak na ako, and I have to deal with these bodily changes. I can't even work out, and I'm just stuck here. Parang yan yung lagi ko sa kanyang iniiyak. I'm just stuck here. Parang I can't do anything. Bakit ganon? It's so unfair. Parang ganyan. Lagi kong binibida sa kanya yung mga ganyan-ganyan. Hugs daw sabi niya. Pero yun nga, pero it gets better. And a lot of my friends always say na, it's okay, it gets better. Parang ngayon lang yan. Sinasabi nga nila lagi is, the months are short. Paano nga ba yun? Wait lang, nandito yan eh. I can't remember. Ayun, the years are short, but the days are long. Which is true, because can you believe that it has already been 9 months since I had that baby. And it does get better. The sleep gets better, the baby gets better, yung mga temperaments ng baby, it all gets better. I was so overwhelmed that time, but again, it gets better. Ayan. Ayun nga, one of the things that I appreciate about motherhood is that the mother community is so strong. Kumbaga, if you're lost, if you're feeling lost, a lot of your friends, if you haven't been in contact with them, they will message you and really champion you that you can do it, because honestly, no one came into motherhood prepared, as in parang every one of us, we have our own parang set of techniques na matututunan on our own way. And that's something that I'm learning now as a mom, is that I have my ways on how to deal with this new life, because ayun nga, it's a new life, it's a new body, it's a new life, it's a new role. And on top of what I'm doing before, parang mas malaki na tong responsibility na dumagdag. Parang there's a lot of things happening in a mother's life na I truly appreciate. Parang, wow, the strength of a woman. Girl, grabe. Grabe talaga ang mga babae. Like another level of appreciation to mothers, to women, lalo na to single moms, na parang, wow, how can you guys do all of this? It's so, grabe, nakakapagod, but it's so rewarding. Ayun. That's me. That's my motherhood journey. Um, I'm still learning my way through it, but yeah, that's my story, Kate.
Grabe, I was listening to you, na-imagine ko. Kasi, growing up, I always had younger cousins. And then when my brothers had children, I took care of them. But I always tell them na ayokong mag-anak.
Talaga?
Yeah, to be honest.
Okay lang yun.
I mean,
girl, it's okay.
Alam nila na I like it.
Yeah.
Pero hindi ko sure kung kaya ko na, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
It really struck me when you said, you will be responsible to keeping that child alive.
Oo. Ikaw lang talaga, promise. It's not the man's duty. It's yours alone. Kaya parang yung burden na parang kapag may nangyari dito, parang ako lang may kasalanan. Parang ganun yung feeling, di ba?
Somehow it doesn't help that mom shaming is also a thing. Alam mo yun?
Yeah, exactly. We're going through a lot already.
Yeah, so it's really nice to hear raw stories like this. That we get know what it feels like talaga for these women. Like you who was a fresh mom, the fresh.
Yeah. Ngayon na lang yan, pero I was so haggard. Grabe. Walang tulog for... Hindi naman totoo na walang tulog, ah. It's a myth that I want to bust. So huwag kayong matakot na walang tulog. May tulog. Pero siguro mga 1 hour, 2 hours at a time. Hindi lang siya sunod-sunod na tulog na you enjoy like 5 hours straight sleep. Girl, say goodbye to that. Maybe mga makakatulog ang 1.5 hour, magigising yung bata, and then you'll fall asleep again, but you'll still sleep. Okay? Hindi totally zero sleep. There will be some sleep. Kahit pa paano. 15 minutes sleep.
You were saying earlier na hindi mo masyadong na-enjoy yung perks of being pregnant.
Hindi. Alam mo, na-miss ko yan. Actually, a funny story is, kasi di ba dapat bawal yung mga pregnant women to go to the grocery? But, alam mo yung meme kung kumakalat sa Facebook or sa social media na yung mga lalaki hindi talaga marunong mag-grocery. Yes. Tapos kung anong-anong binibili nila, like puro junk food, parang ito lang yung listahan, pero bakit ito yung bumalik? Kung ano-ano na lang. So sabi ko, ako na nga yung mag-grocery para maayos yung pagkain natin. So yung nag-grocery ako, hindi kasi ako masyado nag-show nung buntis ako, medyo maliit ako magbuntis. So yung mga tao, nandun ako sa priority lane ng buntis. And yung mga tao, parang bakit itong parang batan to, bakit na dyan sa pregnant lane? Tapos kailangan ko sabihin, tumingin sa akin, buntis po ako. Ayaw nila maniwala.
Grabe. Medyo judgy sila doon.
Oh, judgy sila. Oo na, buntis ako, hindi lang halata.
Hindi ko alam kung matutuwa ako kasi sometimes ako na pagkakamalan akong buntis.
Ang sama, no?
Anyway, so we have a few questions here that we would like to ask you. So one of this is, do you have any favorite food or beverage when you were pregnant? Was the craving real?
In my case, wala talaga. As in, it was just a normal day in a life. Wala talaga. Siguro, what's funny, again, a funny story is, I crave for oatmeal that I don't normally eat. Ang healthy, no? Grabe. Okay. Ang healthy. Okay, oatmeal? Like what? Oo, parang I have that for
When,
breakfast almost every day. And now I can't have oatmeal after ko manganak. Yes. Oh, siguro naging cravings ko noon a very, very particular strawberry cake from Baguio. This is not sponsored. Viscos.
gusto pa,
Viscos cake, ang sarap na strawberry cake.
yeah,
Sobra.
bagong bukas sila dyan sa may Kalayaan. I have yet to visit.
You should.
Okay, so we have another here. It says here that how were you able to adjust your habits and lifestyle from a newlywed young lady to a hands-on mother? Ayan, especially your lifestyle is very active.
Ay, grabe. Ayun nga, yun yung mga isang bagay na kinaiiyak ko talaga nun. Ang babaw ko talaga pag iniisip ko, shucks, ang babaw ko na iniiyak ko na hindi ako maka-workout after pregnancy. Ayun nga kasi lagi kong sinasabi sa husband ko, na bakit ikaw, you get to live your life like nothing happened. For men parang, okay, nanganak ka. Pero sila, same pa rin yung buhay nila. They get to sleep properly, they get to work out, they get to do whatever the hell they want to do. And I'm just here stuck. So what I did was, wala, I have to wait it out. I really have to wait until Julian was a little bit older. And then ngayong 9 months na siya, nababalik ko na paunti-unti yung pag-workout ko. It's one of the things that are very important to me. Working out, ano pa mga ginagawa ko nun? Yeah, working out. Having me time is very important kahit na 30 minutes lang. Ayan, nakakapag-bake na ako. Mga ganong klaseng bagay, I can do that now because he's older. But, ayun nga, ang hirap pag wala kang yaya. Fortunately for me, nagkaroon na ako ng yaya siguro 2 weeks ago. Fresh lang din siya. Fresh yaya. Fresh pa siya. So natutulungan ako sa mga ganung bagay. And if you're privileged enough to have a yaya, I go for it, as in it's a sanity saver.
Yeah, okay. For our next question, it says here, did you have postpartum blues after giving birth? How were you able to cope with it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Meron ako mga pinopost sa IG ko na umiiyak ako eh. Alam mo 'yun. But I just wanted to remember, and I also parang feel myself crying. Parang baliw lang ano. Pero may mga times na parang naiiyak ako, okay, sige nga, magano. I'm gonna feel myself while crying. Siguro I did that because I wanted to remember the moment, why I was feeling like that, the reason. So yung binalikan ko ulit yung video na yun, it's all about me not having the kind of freedom that I have before. Because wala eh. Ganun talaga eh. Pag nanay ka, parang iba na talaga yung priorities mo in life. Which was really hard for me to accept. Parang sabi ko nga sa husband ko, kawawa talaga siya. Parang he regularly receives a beating of me feeling this way. Parang siya yung taga-shock absorber ko. Pero lagi ko nga sinasabi, ang unfair. Bakit laging kami mga babae, ang dami namin kailangan gawin for this baby? At talagang hindi ko talaga matanggap. Pero as soon as you accept the responsibility and not fight it but work against it, then that's the time para magkakaroon ka ng clarity and you get over that postpartum blues. I think yun, doon nag-stem talaga yung yung kalungkutan ko was the not having freedom like what I used to before.
Yeah, you're lucky though na ganyang level yung nangyari na you were able to like, assess, like you
Yeah.
read about it. Because some women, hindi eh, no.
Yeah, that's true.
There are stories na parang some women, they don't wanna look at their babies.
Wow, oo nga eh. Actually, ibang level naman yun. Grabe yun. Shocks. Shocks. I don't know kung ang gagawin ko kung nandun ako sa level na yun. So, mabuti na lang I was able to, yun nga, have time to assess really what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling this way.
We have a question here on Zoom from Mika. She says, "Hi Len, did you gain weight after pregnancy or are you back now to your old weight?"
Oh, nice question. Kasi nga, this is one of the things that I really prepared for. Ayoko kasi talagang tumaba. I don't want to be a fat mom, Char. Ayoko talaga, as in. Kaya talaga nag-workout ako. To answer your question, I would say I am not really looking at numbers, but I just look at my body. Hindi ko talaga tinatrack yung weight ko, no? But I think I'm back to my original weight now, or my original body. Plus, with the add-on of a boob. Yan, lumaki kasi boobs ko. Kung dati, zero boob. Ngayon, gumanda pa lalo kasi nagkaroon ako ng shape.
Sea of milk.
Yeah, sana nga hindi mawala pag wala ng milk yan. Shucks. Sana ganyan lang siya. I'm okay with this body.
Okay, another here is, after giving birth to your firstborn, when are you ready to have your next baby in the family?
You know what? Ayan. Magandang question yan kasi lagi akong nidoloko or inaasar ng asawa ko. Parang mag-baby na daw kami this year. And I'm like, dude, are you okay? Ganyan talaga itsura. Parang, dude, okay ka lang? Parang, litanya na ako yung ganyan-ganyan. Ang dami ko na sabihin, are you taking care of a baby? Ikaw ba nagpapadede dyan? Ikaw ba maglalabas dyan? And kung makademand ka, akala mo. Ganyan ako. The answer to that, if I'm gonna have my way, and I will have my way, is sana mga 2 years or 3 years pa because I really want to focus and enjoy on my firstborn.
Well,
Mabilis lang yan eh, di ba?
to be honest, parang hindi sila sabay na dedede.
Totoo yun. Ay, alam mo, promise, parang iniisip ko, parang, paano yun? Hindi ko maatim, parang, okay, I have a newborn, tas a bigger baby, parang, how do you guys share?
I remember my friend, classmate ko nung college, she was lucky kasi 5 years old na yung panganay niya and then yung sumunod niyang anak is around 3, tapos may newborn pa siya, lahat yung tatlong yun breastfed. Kahit
Oh
yung
my gosh!
5 years old, dumidede pa sa kanya every now and then.
Wow!
Oh, ayan na siya.
Sabi ko nga kay Kate, kapag, ayan, kasi very clingy nga yung baby ko, I might have to nurse. Tataas ko na lang yung screen. Para kita niyo pa rin mukha ko.
Okay. I have another question here from Mika. She said na, after your experience on your first pregnancy, would you still want a second baby? Actually, this is answered na by like the question also that was raised earlier. So, ayan.
Do I want another baby?
Of course.
Of course daw sabi ni Vince. Sa totoo lang, I'm okay with one. But my friend made me realize that mas maganda may kapatid yung at least dalawa. Parang iba pa rin kung merong kapatid eh. Meron kang, alam mo yun, kasama sa buhay pag wala na yung parents mo. At least you have someone. Mahirap pag mag-isa ka lang talaga.
Yes. Okay, agreed. Ayan. So, another question. How were you able to balance your time as a mom, a wife, a daughter to your parents, and your in-laws, and then, of course, a career woman? Ito yung feeling ko, really a question that, like, madalas tanungin ng babae sa sarili niya. Like, enough ba ang hands natin for all of that role? Ikaw?
How do I balance? Ang tanong is, nababalanse ko ba siya in the first place? Wala. One can just do their best, honestly. And you have to choose alin doon yung priority mo. Ano bang uunahin mo dun sa mga roles na yan? Kasi ako ang inuuna ko talaga yung bata. Yun. For me, that's my number one priority right now. And then, tak. Ano pa yung iba?
Ano kayo ng family mo?
Sorry?
Nakabukod na ba kayo ng family?
Okay. Right now, we're living in Antipolo with my parents. So, yun. soon, bubukod na. Ang dami kasi nangyari sa mga plans namin because nagkaroon ng pandemic. We were supposed to parang build the house or renovate the house, but hindi nangyari. Basta it's a whole kwento. But to make the long story short, okay lang naman. Wherever we are right now, I'm so still blessed that we have options kung saan titira. Alam mo yun, other people, they don't have that kind of option. But us, we're so grateful for my parents na we're living in this in this area. So yeah, very, very grateful.
Have you ever thought of leaving your work or career to be a full-time mom? Ayan. This is also a $1 million question.
Would I? Grabe, ang gandang tanong. Ang ganda ng tanong na yan. Hindi. Siguro, to put it on another perspective is that I can't afford to leave my career because in this day and age, kailangan dalawa kayong magtatrabaho. Kailangan talaga dalawa yung income from both parties.
Oo. There's also that as well. Ayan. Okay. Ito, gusto ko rin tong malaman. So aside from working out, how do you take care of yourself as a woman? Ayan. Kasi kapag single ka, merong spa day, merong ganyan, ganon. So ngayon that you're a mom, paano na? How do you take care?
Ayan, di na siya umiiyak. How do I take care of myself? Taking long showers. I know it's so parang sobrang babaw. Kasi it's true, no? Kapag may anak, alam mo yun yung mga things that I don't used to believe before with my friends. Sabi nila, ganito ka na lang kabilis hindi ka na mag-makeup, parang hindi ka na ganyan. Pero sa totoo lang, parang yung time mo for yourself, even just putting on makeup, mababawasan kasi nga you don't really actually care what you look like anymore. You're just taking care of a kid and lalabas ka ba? Hindi naman, di ba? Nasa loob ka na ng bahay. So to answer your question, the simple things that I do for myself, to take care of myself is magpaganda. Sa totoo lang ang simple, take long showers, put on a little bit of blush on para hindi naman ako mukhang zombie dito sa loob ng bahay. Yung mga ganyan because if you look good, you also feel good about yourself. So I make it a point to, magpakikay kahit pa konti-konti. Nagme-makeup pa rin ako, nagkikilay ako, ganyan. Importante yan sa kilay, blush on, lips, yan. Every day in the morning, I need to look cute, ganyan.
Diba? Okay, so since you're a pandemic mama, ang question ko naman ngayon is, what were the safety precautions na you had to do when you were about to give birth, and then when you went, were there anything that you really really prepared? Kasi, well, we all know naman na nobody was really prepared for the pandemic.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
Safety precautions. Alam mo, to be honest, parang wala naman. Just the minimum health protocols na ginagawa natin. But I wasn't really that kind of person na sobrang praning na, kailangan. Basta hindi ako ganun kapraning about, of course, I know that COVID is real, don't get me wrong. But I wasn't really that, praning about it na sobrang OA ko na sa protocols and stuff. So, wala. The minimum health protocols lang.
Nagtagal ka ba sa hospital?
Hindi naman. It was a spontaneous delivery what happened to me kasi. Spontaneous siya in a way that of course hindi mo akalain that manganganak ka on that day. But I think I just stayed in the hospital for 1 whole day. Tama, no? 1 whole day lang. Yeah. Ay, dun din pala ako natulog. So, yeah.
Okay. So, ito na ngayon. dahil mom ka na ngayon, were there any traits from your mother that you think that you are now doing as a mother?
Meron ba? Alam mo, honestly, I can't answer that right now. Kasi sobrang liit pa ng bata. Ba't laging bata yung sinasabi ko kay Julian? Julian na lang. Sobrang liit pa ni Julian, so I don't know if there are traits that my mom did to me that I'm doing to Julian. You know what? Ask me siguro kapag medyo malaki na siya, maybe doon ko na masasagot yun. Pero ngayon na habang baby, parang wala. Meron ba akong ugali ni mami na nagagawa ko sa anak ko lang?
Sa ngayon wala pa.
Sa ngayon wala pa daw talaga yan. Tinanong ko na yung husband ko kasi baka may napapansin siya na hindi ko napapansin, but wala pa naman daw.
Do you see yourself being like your mother anytime?
Yeah. Sorry?
Do you see yourself being like your mother anytime soon sa pagiging mother to your son?
I think my mom and I, we have different ways of, I think we have different, we're kind of the same, but we're different. Mami ko kasi very, independent. Maybe. You know what? Sige, sorry. Let me retrace my my answer. As much as possible, kasi my mom trained us to be really independent. So, I want Julian to be independent. Pero ngayon, habang baby siya, hindi pa talaga siya independent kasi talagang sobrang clingy niya sa akin. But, yeah, that's one of the things that I want him to be independent, to be self-sufficient.
Ayan. With all the overloading information from the internet and advices from the friends left and right, my question now is, are there certain motherhood references na ginagamit mo o pinapractice mo? Meron bang certain doon na talagang kinuha mo out of all of those advices and whatnot na talagang you really apply? Lalo na sa mga traditions.
Okay. Ayun nga. So, yung pregnant ako, ay nako, 0 talaga ako. Kung exam man to, I'm clearly 0 na talaga sa exam kasi hindi ako nag-review. Ganon yung masasabi ko. Wala talaga. Hindi ko alam kung ba't hindi man lang ako nagbasa. Parang nag-focus talaga ako sa labor. Yun yung talagang pinag-aralan ko. Kung anong mararamdaman ko sa labor. Pero I did not really focus on, okay, how do I raise a child? What to expect in the first year? Wala man lang akong ganyan. Alam mo, thank you for making me realize because I think I should read books about raising children now. Kasi wala talaga akong references. Lang ako ng references or I started following actually sa IG talaga ako IG. Very millennial, no? Pero IG yung reference ko. Maraming educational stuff about babies on IG, like solid starts, because Julian now is in the age na nagsosolids na siya. Also, taking care of babies, because I really so desperately wanted Julian to sleep on his own. And I was thinking, nakakayanin ko ang sleep training method wherein, in the US kasi ganun yung ginagawa nila eh, na talagang iiwan lang nila sa crib yung bata for like whatever, how long, 1 hour to cry. Kasi yun nga eh, you need to teach the baby to self-soothe. Kaya you just leave him in a dark room alone in his crib for like an hour. Do no check-ins whatsoever and just let them cry, but hindi ko talaga kaya. Nagawa ko yun for 15 minutes and I'm like, I can't do this to my baby. Kasi nakaka-trauma yun for me and for him. Oo. References, mom ko naman, ayun nga sa mom ko, wala masyadong binigay na tips sa akin. Hi mom, if you're watching. Eh, diba, we live in the same house. Parang she just lets me be. Like, bahala ka dyan kung paano mo gagawin, paano papalakihin yung anak mo. Bahala ka. Wala.
Lola, inaagaw ko talaga yung pamangkin ko. Kapag matulog, my mom would like, ganito kasi.
Ay nako. yung mom ko talaga hinayaan niya ako, bahala ka dyan. Kaya I'm finding my own way. Yun. Pero there's a lot of references sa YouTube, yun nga maganda with technology is that hindi ka talaga mawawalan.
Oo. Masusobrahan ka lang.
At totoo yan. Siguro that's also the reason why yung pregnant ako, I really don't want to dwell on those things because ayoko may info overload. I just wanted to focus on, ayun nga, paano manganak. Kasi fear ko yun eh. So I wanted to look at stories na, ayan, ito yung mga mararamdaman mo, ring of fire, blah, blah, blah. So yun, siguro yung expectation ko sa pain that time was really so high. So yung nagkaroon ako ng contraction and I was in labor, etc. Parang ako, ito na pala yun. Kasi nga, I set myself for the worst. That's how I think eh. I set myself for the worst so that when a better scenario happens, di masaya.
Now that you're seeing your baby day to day, masasabi mo ba na rewarding maging mommy?
Oh yeah, definitely. From someone who doesn't even like babies to begin with, he's the only baby that I like. Dahil joke lang. Partly true. Hindi joke yun. That's really true. He's my favorite baby. Parang yung feeling ko ngayon when I look at him, parang, wow, are you even real? It's really a miracle. Parang dati nandyan ka lang sa loob ko and I saw you in the ultrasound, ganyan. You're just a heartbeat. And you're just this tiny dot in my uterus. And now, totoong tao ka na. Parang para akong may nilalarong Tamagotchi. The reference, very 90s. Oo, parang wow. It's so unbelievable paano siya nagawa, paano siya nabuo, and now he's here. Parang lagi akong sentimental na ang bilis talaga ng oras. Grabe.
Okay, so to close, is there any message you would want to say to our soon-to-be mothers and first-time mommies kung paano maging fresh?
Okay, for first-time moms, I would say to you guys is to just, if you're feeling lonely and you feel anxious about anything, reach out to your mommy friends. I think that's one of the things that really helped me through is that you need people na napagdaanan na yung pinagdadaanan mo. Kasi if you just talk to your, husband, katabi ko kasi husband ko. So parang, ang sama if you just talk to your husband, wala naman mako-contribute yan, hindi, joke lang. Pero if you just talk to someone who doesn't know what you're going through, wala, parang iba yung satisfaction na mararamdaman mo if you're reaching out to a person na nanganak na napagdaanan na yung pagdadaanan mo pa. So, grabe, I'm so grateful to the people who reached out to me. Like, kapapanganak ko pa lang, they texted me already, kamusta ka na? Parang, how are you? How are you mentally? How are you dealing? And I was so surprised because these are the people, I don't really, acquaintances lang sila. And I'm shocked na parang, thank you for checking up on me because maybe they know how it feels. It's very, sabi ko nga rin sa kanila, parang motherhood is very, ang tawag dito, what's the word? Para ka nag-iisa lang. It's so isolating. Yeah, motherhood is so isolating. Kasi ikaw lang yung, parang ako mo lahat ng responsibility eh. And the people around you, they don't know what you're going through. I know. He knows now. Yeah, he knows because I always complain about it. May nagsasalita sa background. Yeah. So that's...
Do you have any particular mommy groups na you're part of ever since this journey?
Yes, and I actually wouldn't advise it. Sama. Hindi, kasi nga, info overload. There are a lot of varying opinions about certain topics. Tapos, may mga mommies pa doon na, ba talaga paglalaban nila yung belief nila. And if you're like me, na you're lost and you don't know what to do, parang mas lalo kang maguguluhan. Ano ba talaga ipa-follow ko? So, kung ako sa'yo, just use your instincts. Yung
Okay.
una, hindi ako naniniwala sa instinct ko na parang, kakayanin ko ba talaga to? Like, would I, someone who doesn't even like babies, would know how to take care and keep one alive? So yeah, you would. Para, I would say na trust your instinct. It will really kick in. Totoo yun. Totoo pala yung kasabihan na yun na you are the only person that would know how to take care of your own baby. So yeah,
Mommy mode on, ganon.
mommy mode on. Oo, totoo yun. And also eat health. Ay, isa pa palang advice ko
Oo.
kung maging fresh. Kung maging fresh. Kung if you're planning to get pregnant and nasa pipeline niyo yun, I would really suggest na you start with good habits even before you get pregnant. Because that's what I did eh. I practiced to eat healthier. Yun nga, sinanay ko sarili ko mag-workout because gusto ko kapag after ko manganak, magbabalikan ko yung time na, nagagawa ko yun dati. Because ang hirap mag-start grabe yung nakaka-demotivate talaga mag-start after getting pregnant. And it's so easy to give up, honestly. Nakakatamad talaga mag-workout, diba? Like, who wants to exercise? There are days that, geez, I don't want to do anything. Pagod ako, ang dami ko nang ginagawa, mag-exercise pa ba ako, papakain pa ako, magluluto pa ako, mag-laundry pa ako, I'll take care of a baby pa. But if you practice those good habits even beforehand, parang it just comes naturally at babalik-balikan mo. You eating healthy, etc. Parang, yun nga it really has to be something na gawin mo ng habit. Even before pa. That's my only advice to you guys who are planning to get pregnant. Para fresh after mga anak.
Yes, naman. Thank you so much
Yes.
for our episode for Mother's Day, Len. And happy
Thank you.
Mother's Day, dakila.
Oo nga, this is my first Mother's Day.
Yes.
And what I want for Mother's Day, like maybe 2 hours of alone time. Like, don't bother me at all kind of alone time.
Parang ayaw ni kasi tumalika siya.
May sinasabi nga hindi ko daw kaya yun kasi mamimiss ko daw yung anak ko. Watch me. Ikukulong ko lang sarili ko in the room and just watch Netflix for 2 hours. Char.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us and sharing your experiences in your journey as a new mom to our
Thank you.
And to those of you who are watching, thank you for watching on our Facebook. And for those naman nakasama namin ngayon sa Zoom, maraming salamat po for joining us. I hope you join us again for our next episode next week, every Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Just log on here at Facebook and look for Moose and Core to watch our weekly episode of QCafe. Ayan. So maraming salamat po ulit sa inyong lahat and we hope we earned the privilege of your time. Goodbye.
Yay!
Next week.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Muzen.